Warning, this video might make you feel depressed and scared, or it might make you feel super happy and relaxed. And here's the warning. Your entire life, so far from your birth until now, everything you have ever done, everything you have ever thought about, everything you have done, quote unquote, is fake, is a fairy tale, and is a myth. So that can make you feel extremely depressed if you are a person that likes to strive towards success. Your entire project of being successful is a myth, is fake. There's nothing true about it. And if you are a person that is looking for truth, you start to see this for yourself, that every endeavor, every project in your life is eventually futile. It's basically futility. But futility is not necessarily bad. It's just a fairy tale or fake. And there are many, many fake things in life that people actually enjoy. For example, when you go to a museum is almost completely fake, right? It is the representation of the real thing. So almost everything in your life is about representation and not truth. So, and it's all about it's about mapping reality instead of having it be reality. It's all about theater. Life is basically one big theater play. And so some examples would be family reunions, university, work, holidays, vacations. All of these are ideas of fakeness, falsity, fairy tale, and it does not lead to ultimate happiness once you realize that it is a fairy tale. So you need to be able to go beyond this myth to see what is true. So everything in your life is ultimately false, ultimately fake. So we have to be able to go beyond that falsity and live in reality. And one of the big disconnections is life and reality. So your life is a misconception. That the misconception is that it's true. Your life is not how it actually is in reality. It's because we have to think about what you are. What are you? What is the self? So that is the ultimate fake thing, is that you are fake. I am fake. So let's use me as an example. So this is kind of like a meditation for me. I am completely fake because where am I? So I'm going into my mind. So I'm analyzing my mind right now, and I'm looking and I'm trying to find the center point. Where is the center point of my mind? And I'm looking, and I don't see a center point. Okay, so my mind is not controlled by anything that I believe that I am. So then I have to look at what I am. Okay, so I'm not my mind. I need to look at what I am. So this sentence, I am. Now, where am I? What am I? I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm putting my awareness on I am. Putting my awareness on I. And the goal is to find something. So it's I am. But where is that and what is that? I can't find anything. I can't find what I am. And you say, well, what about my life story? Doesn't that exist for real? But it's like my life story is existing as this idea in my mind, in quote unquote my mind. And really, is it my mind? Or is it uncontrolled by anything? I'm trying to find what is controlling that mind. And my life story is existing in that mind. What I believe I am, my entire personal identity is this theater, this play, this fairy tale. There's nothing real about it? Where is that happening in, or where is the essence? I want to find the essence of what that is. And I can't find it by using my mind, or also by being me. I can't find it. So we have to use another tool to try to enter this realm of reality, right? We can't use I am. We can't use my mind. Or maybe we can use an instrument or a tool. Does that lead us to empiricism? But that's a big word. We're trying to look at using maybe the scientific method, for example, to try to understand what is true. Okay, but when I look at something, aren't I using my mind and to see it, to interpret it? Okay, so let's look at this pen or this marker. When I look at it, I interpret it as something. And we're interpreting it as a color, and with all of these different characteristics. The color, there's two different colors. We're interpreting the size, and we're interpreting the fact that it has boundaries between it and not it, right? So we're looking at it, and we interpret it as a marker. Okay, but where did that idea come from? Think about it when you look at this and the idea that marker pops in your mind. Where does that come from? Does that come from you? It just kind of appears, right? It appears in the mind. But again, what is controlling the mind? That's kind of the scary part, right? It's like, wow, what is controlling my life? And that can lead to a lot of fear. And that's why there's the warning in this video, is this idea that your life is a complete fairy tale and false can lead to depression and this existential crisis of, what am I? Holy cow, what am I? It's a really scary idea when you realize the question and you're truly curious about what I am, and you realize that what you perceived yourself to be your entire life is not what you are. And that can be very, very scary. And I feel for people who are experiencing that, because I have experienced it multiple times. But now I want that feeling. I want that existential feeling because I am passionate about truth, the truth of what I am. And I know that my life story and all of these like secondhand ideas, like all of these ideas have been passed to me from my culture. But when I look at my culture, when I look at society, it's really full of myths. It's all full of fairy tales and myths, and ultimately has no substance. There's no thingy about it. Objective. It's not an object that I can hold in my hand. Basically, what we view as life is when you try to hold sand in your hand. So you're pouring sand in your hand, and it's just going through your fingers. Or you're trying to hold water in your hands, and you're like, oh, this is life, but it goes right through your fingers and you lose it. Because the reality of the situation is this, that the nature of reality is change. Everything is constantly changing, and it's not only that it's changing fast, ultimately everything is nothing. Everything is nothing. All objects, all ideas, their essence is nothing, nothingness. So this realization of nothingness is ultimately what leads us to this grave depression, this grave existential feeling of depression. Okay, so also what's one tough thing is that there are other people in your life, right? So how do we talk about nothingness with other people when it's only possible to talk about things and ideas? So things and ideas are being communicated between people. But we have to see why that is, or what is happening when people are communicating with each other. It is complete myth. That is the purpose. The purpose is to create comfortable myths that are security, like a blanket, a warm blanket in the winter. makes us feel really good. But we have to think about what truth is. Is truth going to feel good? When you are going from myth to truth, do you think that's going to feel scary or feel good? Are you going to feel happy while that's happening? Well, when you're diving into truth and into nothingness, that is going to be extremely scary when your entire life you've believed that I am this. Okay, but now you're realizing that I am not this. So you've been living for 35 years, 18 years with this idea that I am this. I am this, and you say your name. My name is Kyle, right? So you say, I am Kyle, then I realize, but Kyle is just an idea that was created. There's nothing, ultimately, there's no essence of this Kyle, right? There's no essence of this self-identity. And why was it introduced to me, right? What was its purpose? You start thinking about these ideas. But this is why it's so scary, is because it's like falling. You feel like you're falling from somethingness to nothingness. And the ultimate question is, once you fall away from your identity, what can you hold on to? Once you're falling, what can you grasp onto firmly? Well, you definitely can't grasp onto yourself. You can't grasp onto your beliefs. All of your beliefs are complete myths. Your beliefs are set up, they're structured to build your self-identity and to build your ego. That is why there are belief systems. Even from society, even the belief systems that society has, that you tend to agree with, those are ultimately unbound, and they don't have a structure, and they don't have a base. There's no floor that those beliefs can stand on firmly. So that's why you fall from the floor once you see the myth of those beliefs. So that's going to be it for this video. But if you have questions about falseness and myth, please comment below, ask, and once we realize this nothingness, is that going to be peaceful or not peaceful? So as you keep going, it becomes more and more peaceful, this sense of I am nothing, life is nothing. It's going to lead to more peace.